Dummy. Hey, dummy.
I ain't
Dummy.
I ain't the dummy. You the dummy.
Dummy. You're going to hear a lot of dummy.
We're just a couple of dummies. What can we say?
Couple of dummies. That's what's happening. Welcome to DC Fan-imated, folks. And we are back in Gotham. That is right. We have been in Metropolis for quite a little bit.
Oh, no, we had a stretch.
Yeah.
We definitely had a Metropolis stretch, but a little preview. We get a small little Gotham burst here before we head back to Metropolis. Just a little preview of coming attractions.
And I love it too, because, especially after last week's episode, of Superman, which I was kind of like,
Oh, you were ready to tear Warrior Queen apart. Let's
in more ways than one. Am I right? Anyways.
Oh God. Oh
yes. Hey, it was a pretty horny episode last.
It was a very horny episode.
Yes.
Very much not this episode.
No.
Okay. These are the kind of episodes that even when the animation is B team, it's not even the best. This is when you see that writing can just make an episode shine in spite of animation. I mean, God, I love it when this show goes for broke with psychological stuff. I mean, it's just wonderful.
No, this is an episode where we're both agreeing. Like, this is just, man, and it's Wine Wednesday. Cheers, of course.
Cheers.
But it's just one of those episodes where, we're going to fully get into it. Of course, I'm Dave, the Film Junkie. With me, as always, Mr. Scott McClellan. Of course, we're already diving into it because I think we're just both excited that we're back in Gotham.
Well, really, I mean, honestly, we started this show as Batman the Fan-imated stream,
which of course we just saw the intro, and the original intro has Batman the Fan-imated stream. The Superman intro has DC Fan-imated, and of course we'll get another intro as we go along, and it'll still be DC Fan-imated, but you appreciate that original.
We remember where we came from.
Yes, exactly.
We remember where we came from. Remember how we started. So it's always nice to come back to Gotham City.
It's true.
The city of justice. A city of love,
the city of red sky
and peace for every one of us.
Exactly.
Red skies, red wine. It just
all works.
It all works. Red light. I mean,
I know we're on a good one. Red eyes right here.
Not gonna lie.
Hey, it's something. But no, we're talking about Double Talk right here, which naturally, if you think Double Talk, well, which villain's going to be talking Double Talk here? Of course, it's going to be Ventriloquist, Mr. Scarface coming back. And, just what you were talking about is the writing of this episode. And I think what I appreciate the most about this episode is we're seeing what Bruce is setting out for his villains.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about that tonight.
Okay. And before you start talking about it, exit out, come back in. You're pixelating.
Of course I am. Of course I am. Do you know I did pixelate once last week?
I know. I was hoping it wasn't going to happen this week, but hey. But anyways, what's going on? We got Willis right here. We got Chino done watching the Wolves game. Oh yeah, we got some basketball playoffs happening, huh? Metropolis still safer than Gotham. Yeah, most likely, for sure. But still, don't forget the blimps. Yeah. I wonder if you'll eventually do Young Justice. And, of course, we're going to be tackling all the animated.
I love it. Everyone's like, I wonder if you're going to talk about this animated show. The answer is yes.
DC Fan-imated stream. That's why we rebranded specifically, because we want to talk about all of it.
We love cartoons.
Yes, we are 40-year-old men who want to talk about cartoons and drink wine. That's where we're at right now. But yes,
aren't you jealous of our lives?
I know,
aren't
right?
You jealous.
It's kind of nice. But yeah, one of the best things about this episode is we just see what Bruce has set out to do, which he doesn't want to harm. He knows, hey, these people are fucked up, and we know that Arnold's fucked up, and
it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It reminds me of Harley's holiday.
Yes.
And that scene at the end at Arkham where Batman gives Harley the dress and is like, I had a bad day too once. It's like that was one of the first indications in the animated universe where we go, Batman really does the villains that can be rehabilitated. He wants them. We saw it again with Second Chance when
Mhm.
he was putting the bill for Harvey's surgery to get rid of Two-Face. Like, we've seen this multiple times now in the animated series that Batman doesn't just want to beat the shit out of these bad guys. The
Yeah.
ones that can be saved, he wants to save them.
Yeah, and Arnold's one of those where it's like it's not a Joker situation. It's not even a Penguin situation where you just go, I don't know, but it's like, okay, so I'm gonna help you, and I know that it's like the this villain that's inside you is something that is deeply psychological. And I mean, for the most part, anytime that we've seen, we always know it's like, oh, poor Arnold, poor
We
Arnold.
have I feel like as an audience, we've always felt for Arnold, either because he seems like a victim himself of
Yes.
his own psychosis, and or he's just a pathetic little man. How can you not feel sorry for the guy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And right off the bat, man, they start off with right off the bat, right? Okay, cool. Anyways, but
You wanted a badunk chink? Is that
I know
what
I
you
kind of
wanted?
wanted something right there. I just like when I said that, I was like, oh, wow, right off the bat. Get it, guys? I didn't even mean to do that. But anyways,
Of course you
um
didn't. Of course you didn't, Dave. You didn't mean to make a really bad joke. Okay.
nah, of course not. No, no. But we get like a little dream scenario that's happening.
It's weird, by the way.
Yeah.
I
Don't
mean,
get choked
I
up about it.
I know, right? That wine went down the wrong way as I was thinking about it. But, I was watching the episode today, and I would admit it, for the first 30, 40 seconds, I was like, "The fuck is going on in this
Yeah, I forgot
episode?"
how it starts. Like I remember this episode, but I don't remember
I
the
remember the I
dream.
remember the broad strokes of the
Yeah,
episode, but there was a
yeah.
lot of details that were like, "Nope, this is one of those I haven't seen this episode in who knows when and how many times did I actually watch it when I was a kid," because we've talked about how this 3rd season is kind of like the least watched
Yeah,
of all these episodes.
true. And it starts off with this crazy dream sequence that of course, we got Arnold who is trying to better himself. And then of course, when he's trying to run away from Scarface, and we get a cool little psychedelic kind of like we even get a Batman that's in here that looks very, demon like, shadowy eyes, big wings and stuff.
Very
And
impressionistic,
yeah,
very much, like you get a what I like is that you get a very nice picture into Arnold's psyche
yeah,
and you see how he is perceiving like that is his mind's eye of how he interprets Batman.
yeah, yeah. And it's very scary. It's pretty
Yeah.
scary looking. And I mean, obviously, he's still in Arkham. And then we get like the whole thing of like, he's got a piece of paper that is showing that, hey, rehabilitation, you are good. You don't have scar, but there's something still in there, obviously, that they're representing at the beginning of this episode is like his subconscious is still trying to toy with things, even though he's approved, and he's very much freaked out about it. He's very much freaked out, which you feel sorry for.
The fact that Arnold has, what we now would deem as, DID, dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember that psychologically, my understand this is a layman's explanation,
Hmm.
but when we have DID, what's happening is that you have suffered some sort of traumatic event that has caused you to disassociate as in a way that your mind, your psyche is trying to protect itself from whatever event caused the original trauma. So you dissociate from yourself to protect your mind, and the concept of DID is that you create a different identity that allows your mind to process and cope with the trauma. So clearly, you can look at someone like Arnold, who is just a sad sack of patheticness. I mean, and you see Scarface, who is this smart, you know, confident, you know, force, and you can see how someone like Arnold would create a personality like Scarface to protect himself.
Exactly. It makes sense. And you need to disassociate from the stream again.
Of course I do.
Last week, nothing. This week, damn it.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, that's what's kind of cool about this, I mean, especially when we know that Batman kind of has like a duality to him. And I was just saying, like, I mean, what's cool about these episodes, what's cool about this character is like, the duality of Batman. So obviously he's gonna feel a little bit more for him. And you do. I mean, like I said, he's such a weak person, and Scarface is such a strong person. I mean, yeah, like you said, why wouldn't he create something like that to protect himself, And it's very much doing that. But, right off the bat, you're already seeing, like, when it comes to him getting out, I mean, he gets an apartment at Wayne Gardens,
Which is
He gets
which you can tell it's a Wayne sponsored halfway house.
yes.
So I mean, you see, and for all those annoying people on social media who are like, Bruce Wayne's a billionaire. Why doesn't he do more? He does.
Yes.
He does. This has been long established in the comics. This has been
Yes.
established in this series.
Yes.
That this is something that the Wayne Foundation does.
I mean, sadly, people just always think that, oh, you just throw money at something and that's going to solve all the problems. No, yeah, money helps, but there's a little bit more to it there, people.
Money gives you the ability to do things like provide housing,
Yes.
set up job programs so that they can be reintegrated into, regular society. Bruce Wayne checking in on Arnold while he's at work at Wayne Enterprises, and not in a creepy sort of "I don't
No.
trust you, I've got to check on you." It is a legitimate, "How you doing, Arnold?"
Yeah, and it's such a nice moment too because obviously we get Lucius Fox. Been a little minute since we've seen him.
Yeah, and I miss having Brock Peters as the voice of
Yeah.
Lucius Fox. The new actor Mel Winkler,
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, it's not the same voice, huh?
No, it's not Brock
Yeah.
Peters. I tried to read up. I could not find any direct explanation for why Brock Peters didn't come back as Lucius Fox in the new Batman adventures, because he was still alive. Brock Peters was with us till about 2005. So I don't know why he's not there, but I miss him. There's just that fatherly, grandfatherly voice to Brock Peters that I thought made such a great Lucius Fox.
Yeah. But that's all. I mean, he's got a small role in this story, but I mean,
He
obviously
does.
they have to establish that, oh yeah, we have this safe right here that, that is voice activated. Lucius Fox, he says the whole thing, technology, and he's of course putting stuff in it. But yeah, right after that, we get, Bruce just like looking over and sees Arnold, who is, the male guy on this floor. He's doing, and then he just wants to be like, all right, this is where he does this thing where he just goes like, hey, how's it going? Like, are you doing all right here, bud? Just kind of thing. And I mean, like, not only do we see like Batman looking out for Arnold like during the night hours to make sure things are good, but there's also a Bruce Wayne aspect to it. And like you said, it's not like, hey, are you okay? It's just like he sees him in the distance and just walks up to him politely. And it's like that's gotta make Arnold feel good too, that the boss man who essentially gave him the job is showing up and being like, hey, just checking up. How you doing, man?
And this is an element of Batman and Bruce Wayne that I don't think gets enough attention. There are certain writers who would address this very well. But I just think overall, just in the perception of Batman, maybe in more popular media interpretations of Batman, I feel like this concept just doesn't get touched on enough.
Yeah.
And I like it because it shows that Batman and Bruce Wayne do have a more rounded idea of what it's going to take to save this city and to
No,
help people.
you're right. You're absolutely right. But then, sadly, when Arnold's like trying to make his way back home, we get a visit from Muggsy and Rhino.
God, man, and I recognized I didn't I remembered Muggsy, but not right. But dude, did I remember Rhino? Because Rhino was in Arnold's dream at the beginning of the
Mhm.
episode, and I was like, "Oh, dude, there's Rhino."
Yeah.
I remember that knucklehead.
And it was again in the dream too, because they were both just like, it was kind of like they were like spinning around and they were just like firing, and it was kind of
Hmm.
cool, like little thing. But yeah, of course we get them back, and they want Scarface back, so they start picking on poor Arnold again, as he's just like, well, he just wants to like take his bus ride back home and just kind of chill. But yeah, they were like, yeah, we want Scarface back. They desperately want him back. And obviously, like we were talking about, Batman was watching Arnold, so Batman intervenes.
Batman intervenes. Yeah,
Yeah.
kicks their ass all over the sidewalk,
Yep.
and I love it. I mean, even after Arnold runs away, I love Batman basically going, "Wesker's off limits."
So good. And he gives two backhands too.
To,
He does
to both the Mugs, like Muggsy gets it twice. It's
twice.
like, dude,
Yeah.
stay down.
Yeah, you get two awesome Batman backhands, and go ahead and come back in again. Your
Are you
pixel.
backhanding?
Yeah, yeah, but we get two awesome backhands. I mean, obviously, the Batman backhand was made famously by Keaton's Batman in Batman '89. I mean, let's face it. Like when it comes to a Batman backhand, you got to love the Keaton one. But yeah, Muggsy definitely gets it twice, and it's freaking awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
But
but then Arnold runs home, and
yeah.
oh dear God, that is such a creepy thing when he's like in his apartment all by himself and he's hearing the voice. And
Dummy. Dummy. Yeah. It's like, good God. It's like, oh boy. And he's just like obviously fighting it and just trying not to. And I mean, this is what's great about the episode. It's just Arnold really just trying to be like, no, 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 this is not real, not real, not real. And then like the next day, he's like walking through the park and then just seeing like, okay, yeah, everything's nice, everybody's just having a good time. But then of course, somebody's got a little puppet of themselves like on a park bench, and guess who it looks like? Scarface.
and then he starts seeing Scarface all
Yeah.
around, and I mean, he's starting to have a psychotic break, and
Mhm.
it's just, oh man, it feels a little bit like a Hitchcock
Little bit.
moment. Yeah, yeah.
Little bit. And then of course he can't focus at work, just kind of like dropping the mail on the ground, getting in people's way,
Sweating profusely.
sweating like crazy. And then of course we get Bruce Wayne again, who's just like, hey man, are you okay? Like he's just double checking. And then it's just, but he's sweating his ass off and he's just like, just that's, I'm fine. And then when he spills his mail cart, he finds a letter that says dummy on it. It's like, oh shit. You don't want to see that.
No, no,
Yeah.
that's a little creepy because you're like, did the did did the ventriloquist dummy write a note to the ventriloquist? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
is he really losing it? And then, of course, he gets a letter that says, like, be by your phone at like 9 o'clock. Expect a call, blah,
Let
blah,
me ask you
blah.
something though.
Yeah.
Did you ever question whether the letter was actually there? Or did
Yeah,
you
I
always
did.
accept that it was there?
I think, well, watching it, we do see Bruce, like, when he runs off, you see Bruce, like, kind of look down and see the ripped, like, envelope, I guess.
But
Maybe.
he never picks
Yeah.
it up and actually sees if there's
Oh,
something like I always wondered, like, were they trying to suggest to the audience, or are we supposed to question reality? Like,
yeah.
are we supposed to question what Arnold is perceiving at this moment?
But
Uh,
yeah, I think like they probably wanted that because obviously we find out, in a little bit that there's some fuckery going on, but maybe that they were trying to express that a little bit. Yeah, maybe they were trying to give that. And I think like if I'm watching this episode fresh, not knowing certain things that have that happened, I just kind of go like, yeah, maybe he is imagining all this. I don't know.
Because they never, it's like Bruce never picks up the envelope to like give us any kind of confirmation if what Arnold saw
Hmm.
is what is real. And I like that the episode makes me question that.
Yeah.
Like that's some of the strength in the way this episode was presented that I appreciate. Because when he's back at his apartment, he's sitting there and you see her going, how how is Scarface calling him on the phone? Like
Yeah. I'm like, but at the same time, what they also do too is just the fact that when he answers and or like when he's just going, it's not real, it's not real. So they do hit it where it's like, yeah, maybe it's all in his head. Is all this in his head? Like obviously we have
but Batman's got the
yeah,
headphones on, so it's like he's hearing the phone call.
that's the thing. It's like then you start going like, is Batman hearing this too? So like what you're saying is like you do question, you're like, wait, is this happening? And that's what's great about this episode. Is like, is Batman hearing this too? And then he is hearing this. And then obviously we're hearing like Scarface's um voice, and then he goes, look out, look out to the phone booth that's on the corner right over here, and you see Scarface sitting there, and then it gets thrown out of the wall, like all that doubt of like, is this real or not, gets thrown out big time when Batman uses binoculars and sees Scarface also, and you're like, oh shit, what is going on here? Then you start, yeah, okay, this is not in his head. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, now it's really, it goes to a new the level though when Batman like jumps over to that jumps over to the phone booth. It does the classic like the bus drives in front of it and then Scarface disappears, but then he sees Scarface like running off. Now, when I'm watching it, not remembering the details of this episode, this is the moment when I go, "Oh, there's a little person dressed like Scarface." Okay, without knowing how the rest of the episode actually played out from memory, I just connected dots and went, "Oh, okay. This is
Yeah,
all part of the plan
yeah,
to bring Scarface out of Arnold."
yeah. And what's interesting too is like the landlord lady is a little person as well. Like when you first see
Yes.
her, so it kind of like throws you off a little bit. It's like, wait, is she messing with them? It's like, what's going on here? Like, you know. So I was even thinking about. I mean, I already remembered like how it wraps up, but it was just kind of funny to be like, oh yeah, like the landlady is a little person as well. So it's like they could throw you off a little bit too. It's like maybe she's in on it and she's dressed up as it or something like that, and maybe something's going on with that. But yeah, we get it's interesting. And I assume that even Batman's going, wait a minute. I am literally chasing Scarface right now into a warehouse. What is going on here?
Okay, now when he chases him into the warehouse, I'm going to admit for this sequence where like this Scarface person is knocking all these statues down, the episode lost me slightly because for a ventriloquist and Scarface episode, it got a little too big for
Yeah,
me.
I get that. I can understand that because it's like they wanted to put this like chase sequence. It's like, okay, how good? Oh, we're gonna go into this warehouse where we have these like creepy statues and stuff, and then Batman's gonna be taken on by this little person who's like this LP right here that's gonna be like knocking down statues and doing all this stuff. Yeah, you have to. Then it starts getting a little like, okay, getting a little too extreme right here.
Yeah, but then, now I'm trying to remember after Scarface gets away,
Yeah.
where does the episode because like in my mind I'm starting to kind of lose the thread. Like does this one he goes back to the Batcave
Yeah.
and he and
They
Batgirl do the
have
voice analysis?
They have a quick, I mean, again, 22 minutes. There's a quick scene in the Batcave with Batgirl, and they're analyzing the voice, saying that it's not Arnold's voice. And then all of a sudden, Batman just goes like, "Yeah, I found this speaker in his apartment." Then it just cuts, and I'm like, "Whoa, they had to like fit that in there just right to be like, oh yeah, somebody's fucking with Arnold right here." And so yeah, it was like a quick scene. That's probably why you're like, wait, how does it, because it's so quick. And that might be my only gripe is like, wow, that was so just like, yeah, it doesn't sound like his voice. It's not his voice. And then it's like, yeah, I found this in his apartment. Next scene.
Next scene, like we
Yeah.
didn't even see Batman find the speaker. It's just
No,
like,
it's just he just had it.
yeah, yeah.
So that would probably be like my biggest gripe is like that little. I mean, I get what they were trying to like establish, like, hey,
Well,
this is
they communicated the information. It just
yes.
wasn't the most finessed way of doing it.
No, it was just like quickly we have to have some exposition. Put it right there. Now on to the next thing. And and then of course we have Arnold just like running back to his apartment again, and he's unplugging the phone, he's sitting in the dark, he's like, please, but then of course he sees Scarface there, and then everything starts coming back, and yeah, then finally Scarface is back.
Yeah.
Scarface is back. But then we finally it's kind of funny. We get the actor involved, which you see this other little person, which is I love his name because it sounds like a Dick Tracy character, Hips McManus.
Yes.
So we get this, he's walking in, and you can tell he's a douche. They already like established he's a douche right away because he's showing up his apartment. He sees like some milk and a paper like on his neighbor's doorstep, on his mat, on their mat, and then he just takes it and just freaking
Oh,
goes.
you know what makes him even more of a douche? There's a
Mm.
baby in that
Yeah,
apartment. He's stealing milk from a baby.
yeah. They really established that
Yeah,
this
he's a
dude,
dick. Yeah.
he's a dick, and of course when he gets in, he gets met by of course Batman and Batgirl.
It's
And
cool how Batgirl gets a reveal because he like turns around to run out the door and
yeah.
Batgirl just like slams the door shut. That was great. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
good job, Babs.
Oh
That was
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Gotta love Babs in this episode too. And then of course, when we get Scarface back, and then it's established that basically that this whole thing is like, well, Muggsy and Rhino were like, oh, we kind of came up with this little scheme. That's who Mr. Hips McManus talks about, like basically reveals like, yeah, it was like a whole thing to just try to get Scarface back up because he was still in there. So it's like, how do you get him out? And
Well,
sure
and
enough,
Rhino and Muggsy are not necessarily the brightest of individuals.
no.
And Scarface was always the brains of the operation. I mean, he talks like a thug, but he really did well because it's Arnold.
Yeah.
And Arnold's a smart guy. And so he can scheme these ways when he's Scarface.
Yeah. And of course, the biggest, what did we already establish earlier was Lucius, of course, with the safe. So of course, that's the whole heist that they want to achieve when it comes to this. And of course we get that, but we get a nice little sequence of like, all right, this is happening, and of course Batman and Batgirl intervene. I always love to say that. I mean, that's what happens, right? They intervene, they take them on, but of course, we have to have a little dramatic, little ending here. So naturally, they don't overpower them, even though we saw Batman overpower him by himself.
I know, right?
But it's a little different this time. They have guns this time, right?
Well, and they have
Something.
Lucius.
They have Lucius. Yeah, Lucius. I mean, one of the things is the fact that it's like, so you have to worry about Lucius because they get him, and of course he has to do the voice activated thing, and then so he gets knocked out, and Batman and Batgirl get placed into the safe with some dynamite, which I love that. I just love that. It's just like a timed dynamite. It's like dynamite. You have to, it's not just like some kind of crafty bomb. No, it's dynamite. Exactly. No, I get it. But yeah, so they get locked into the safe, and it's like, okay. And I like the fact that it's like that Babs immediately using her smarts is like, all right, pull the freaking panel apart. Maybe I can, because obviously Bruce Wayne can voice activate it, but if he was on the outside.
Yeah. By the way, I still love the way that Batman talks about Bruce Wayne in the third person.
Yes.
Like, I love that. Bruce Wayne could if he was outside.
See, which adds to the episode, to say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so she's like, okay, and then I love it that Batman just decides like, hey, like, well, we don't have time for you to just like start hacking into this stuff where, I could just do something. Now I gotta use the the grappling gun, the grapple gun. Let's see, where am I at here? Like I said,
Well, because this is when he wraps the grappling gun wire
yeah,
around the dynamite, because he's already ripped the grate off of the vent, and he basically fires the dynamite using the force of the grappling gun through the shaft just to get it far enough away so when it does explode, you know, the building will buffer the explosion.
I love it when you talk dirty to me, Scott. Anyways,
No,
so
yes,
this-
I know. It's just,
but yeah, this is where it all happens right here, and this is where we're gonna watch the clap.
oh, this is where the clip comes in. Okay.
Oh, I mean, it's so crafty, and then I like how he jumps over and guards Babs. You gotta love that. And
Some
then, of
fans
course,
don't. Just saying.
Yeah.
Now,
We'll get to that later.
what's the matter, boss?
What's your matter,
Shut up.
boss?
Drop your
The
rascals
double
and throw back
cross.
over here.
Drop your Roscoe's and
This
the
ain't funny, boss. No, but it's a laugh.
God, I
riot.
love
You
the way
blockheads thought
Scarface
you could
uses that old
impressionate
timey
me.
gangster
You thought you could
slang.
decide
I know,
when I
right?
was coming out? You could have ruined my plan. What plan?
What?
I was playing possum, laying low
Playing
till the heat was off.
possum.
But then you two numbskulls start up. And when
Crazy.
the muscle starts thinking it's
Thinking
the brains,
brains.
then it's time
Time
to
to
amputate.
amputate.
Now, Mr. Scarface,
Oh, what a great
please don't
line.
kill them. Butt out, dummy, or you can walk the plank
I
too.
love that.
Boss,
He
please.
literally
you
lifts
didn't
up the
mean no
hand
harm.
to
He just
slap
slap
him.
himself.
Yeah.
I know.
We
It's
just
great.
needed
So
you
great.
is all. Yeah, you're breaking my heart. Sayonara,
Kicking my
chumps.
heart.
Oh God, I love George Zunza in this role. It's so good.
Uh-oh. Headshot. Well, of course he is.
Stop him.
I mean, he's a
Yeah.
dummy.
He is a dummy.
Forget me, dummy. Get the
I
gun.
love the fact that the lips aren't moving.
Yes, and the batarang is like right in his cheek.
Right in there. I know, right?
Yeah. And then we got Go Babs. Get it, girl. You'll save him.
Batgirl saves the henchman. Batman deals with the primary.
Yeah. I like how Muggsy just kind of falls. Like
I know,
just
right?
ever so slightly.
Do this.
This is so great right here.
Oh God, yes.
This is so beautiful.
Not
So
you.
beautiful. The sweat.
Don't listen to him, dummy.
Ah.
He's playing you like a cheap fiddle. Do him
Fiddle.
already.
Oh,
So good. And the music.
because it's
so
that
good.
theme that we've had since the first appearance.
Yep.
Come on, what are you waiting for?
Oh,
For
so
once in
dramatic.
your life, do
Like
something,
something right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn. Just takes him out. Yes, Arnold. Yes. And then you get this dramatic, like,
Oh my God.
That's it, dummy. When I get my hands on
oh.
You know what I love because we have Scarface as a dummy is
Yeah.
the gruesome, violent ways they destroy that dummy throughout the series.
Exactly. It's like you could do whatever you want. Well, that's what we always talk about when you want to get kind of like graphic. just don't make
Robots,
human.
dummies.
Robots, humans, aliens. Yes. Long as it doesn't look like, a human being getting torn to shreds. Perfectly okay. That's where Bruce, Tim, and crew were like, yeah, this is where we can shine right here, folks. And it's so great. I mean, just to see that happen. And then, of course, the next scene is like him with the landlady, and he's just happy. He's happy,
He
and
is
then
so
and then
happy.
she tells him like, "Hey, I hope you're going to be more,
Social.
social and stuff like that." But even like Arnold's like, you know what? But right now, I'm just looking forward to just being by myself.
And it's just so like, oh,
Yeah. Because we know it's like a play on, a little like, be by myself, because obviously that alternate personality showed back up for a brief moment. But yeah, you just kind of go, yeah, that's right, man. Take time for yourself. Eventually he'll get to the point where he interacts. But good on Arnold, right?
Well, and also I think as far as the animated series is concerned, I do think this is the last time we see Scarface and the Ventriloquist,
Mhm.
because I felt like this episode is like the button. Like, this is Arnold's happy ending.
Yep. It totally is, and this is Scarface, getting, torn to shreds
Again.
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 Hopefully, just for good. But yeah, this was. I mean, the fact that like I said, that dramatic ending of he hearing the voice and it's like, take out Batman, holding the gun, he's sweating, and then he's just like, yeah, and he turns around and just totally just no. It's like, it's you that I gotta freaking put a bunch of
Well, I
bullets
think
in.
it's, if I remember correctly, of all of the Ventriloquist Scarface episodes, this is the first time that Arnold takes out Scarface.
There you go. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you are right. And no, it's good. It's a good little happy ending. It's a great episode. And I'm like, you know what? This is, especially after last week's horny, weird episode. Oh man, we're back in Gotham, baby.
Well, but next week we're gonna get horny some more. Just giving you a, we get some, we're gonna get a little horny next week. Just not
Which
gonna
one?
lie.
What's the next episode?
Next episode, still in Gotham City.
Yes.
You scratch my back.
Yeah, you're right. It is horny. I remember this. I remember
You
this.
remember this one?
Yes. Obviously, come on. Scratch my back. You already know it's a Catwoman episode.
Absolutely.
And not so much a Batman.
No.
Yes. This is yes. We get a little we get a dude with a mullet.
Yeah, we do.
That's
We do.
more about, yes, I remember this episode. I remember that. Yeah. This one rings true. Yeah. It's so, yeah, of course it's Catwoman. You're gonna get some horniness in it. So good episode though. I think I haven't seen it in a bit, but if I remember,
I don't remember it fondly.
I just remember them coming together and I don't remember the details. And I know that was a bad choice of words right there. But anyways, yeah.
Come together
right now. Over me. Oh, there we go. But hey, we're back in Gotham. It's great. And
actually, it's our first Nightwing episode.
Yeah, we only got the tease, right?
Right, at the end of Sins of the Father, when Dick shows back up. Mm-hmm. But we haven't seen Dick or Nightwing since he pops in at the end, like, watch out for that last roll, kid. It's a killer.
Yeah. So this is the first time we're actually going to see full on Nightwing.
Yeah.
So there you go, folks. We just talked about Double Talk, which is a fantastic episode. We enjoyed it. And now we're going to get a kind of Nightwing and Catwoman team up thing that's going to be happening next week. So make sure you're back here at the same bat time, same bat channel for that.
Remember, again, this is my also reminder, because this is production order, not air date order. So you do have to, if you're watching along on Max, you do have to jump around. If you're watching on your own personal home media, you're good.
Yeah, you're true. Yeah, true. Because at first I remember, like, when I got back into Max, I was like, wait, what's the next episode? No, it's not this one. What the fuck?
Like, you skip like 4 episodes down to like.
Yeah, you have to like go because it was funny, because when I clicked on Batman, it just like ended Cold Comfort, whatever the last freeze episode.
Yes.
And it goes into
Never Fear.
Yes, which is a fantastic
episode, but we're not there yet.
And I was like, wait a minute, no, we're not there. I'm like, no, it's double. Oh, and then I had to like go, I was like, oh yeah, it's like 4 episodes ahead of it. So, but yeah, you have to jump around a little bit when it comes to Batman, but we're good though. That's just why we're here, folks. We're doing the production order. So always a great conversation, always fun to see, people, of course, conversing in the chat and everything about this. So but anyways, go ahead and plug away, Scott.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter X at ScottDC27. You can find me on Instagram at McMerlin, and you can find me on Vero at Scott McClellan. You can find my podcast, the DC Squawkcast, where podcasts can be found. We're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squawkcastmedia.com. I do, however, also want to plug a guest appearance of a podcast that I just appeared on I recorded it earlier this week. It dropped this evening. If you head on over to our friends over at Geek Ultimate Alliance, frequent guests on the vodka stream, Travis Hines on his podcast, The Animation Nation, you get to hear about an hour-and-a-half conversation of me and Travis talking about our thoughts of season 1 of X-Men 97.
Ooh, I still got to dive into that.
Yeah, because dude, we talk spoilers. It's like, do not listen to that unless you watch season 1.
I mean, sadly, I've gotten spoiled a little bit when it comes to. I mean, I already know about cameos that show up. Obviously, you can't.
Oh, the cameos aren't even. The cameos are nothing. Like,
that's just something. But story wise, I don't really know much about. Which I'm like, great. Thank you. And we got, holiday weekend this weekend. I keep on saying that. Yeah, now I'm finally going to reactivate my Disney Plus and freaking start diving into that damn thing. So anyways, we love you. And thank you guys for clicking in, of course. And make sure you hit that like, thumbs up, do all that. See you guys on Friday for the vodka stream. And should be a fun conversation. Got a guest that's coming in, so that's going to be fun to talk to that person. And guys, we love you and thank you for joining. We'll see you next week for what is it? You scratch my back.
Scratch my back.
Right. That's right. All right, guys. Talk to you later.